Welcome, Tim Janisewski with Spotlight Good News Ministries as we continue to spotlight Philippians, this invitation to joy. In my lifetime, I would say there has been a considerable emphasis on watching and considering what we eat. What we eat has a profound influence on our health, our well-being, even our mental acuity, and things of that variety. Now, granted, some of the things I'm eating now, I'd rather not be eating, and some of the things I used to love to eat, I don't get to eat anymore, but all in all, it is a win because we know that which we feed into our bodies has such a huge impact on our physical health and well-being. Well, obviously, that is the truth with regard to our spiritual health and well-being. What we put into our spirits and into our souls will have a profound impact on what our spirits and souls experience in terms of their health, and our spiritual health will have a direct relationship to what? The level of joy, our experience of joy, our rejoicing in the Lord as one of the hallmarks of our regular life. And this is just the kind of thing that the Apostle Paul is commending to us in our passage for today, beginning with Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, my brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. And what you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. You can hear very clearly here that Paul is commending, first of all, a list of 8 virtues that he says we should be feeding into our spiritual souls. He says elsewhere in a famous passage in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, that we are to renew our minds so that we might be transformed. We're constantly in the business of taking out that from our minds which destroys our spiritual well-being and inserting that which will renew our spiritual well-being. And we stop and ask, well, what are the kinds of things that will do that work of renewal within us, that are our spiritual vitamins and spiritual health food? And we get a good list of it from Paul right here. We renew our spiritual well-being when we focus and concentrate on things that are true instead of being cluttered up with things that are false or deceptive. We are eating spiritual health food when we focus and concentrate on what is honorable instead of what is dishonorable, when we look to what is just and right instead of unjust or perverse towards other people. We are growing spiritually when we concentrate on that which is pure, as Paul has already prayed for the Philippians back in chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, as opposed to that which is foul and corrupt. Our spiritual well-being is enhanced when we focus and feed upon that which is lovely instead of that which is disgusting and vile. We look to what's commendable instead of that which should be set aside. We look for anything of excellence, and the Greek word here is virtuous. We focus on what's virtuous and praiseworthy. And Paul says, feed your spiritual life upon those sorts of things, and you will see that your spiritual health elevates. And as it elevates, you will be a person of joy, and as he says at the end of the next verse, you will know the peace of God. And then, of course, Paul wraps up and says, that's what I'm doing. So because I'm doing that very sort of thing, look to me once again as an example of one pressing on after Christ, and that which you have indeed seen in my life and learned from me, heard from me, received from me as a pattern for feeding our souls and our lives with the things of God, then that imitate. And if you will, I'm a partner and I'm a coach in the way I'm living as to how you can live so that your spiritual well-being will be enhanced and your joy will be full. So let's read this passage. Let's reflect on this passage, maybe memorize it and apply it so that we might know spiritual health and well-being and that our joy may be full. We'll talk to you next time.